This lecture taking up the certain things were left out. I'd be first of all focusing on them. One of the things that was left out was related to the this is the volume of the cement before hydration and after hydration. So in unhydrated cement, what is the volume? It is, if you are adding 40 ml of cement to 60 ml of water, so that's 40% of cement and 60% of water. At 50%, now if this is what you're doing, at 50% hydration, that's जब 50% hydration complete हुई होगी, at that time the volume is 20 ml of unhydrated particles. So the first thing that remains in cement at 50% hydration is around 20% of unhydrated cement particles. Then we would have around 30.8 ml of solid particles. Now that means 30%, around 30-31% has undergone hydration. The cement particles have become solid. So although there is a change in the volume once the hydration happens, then there is 12 mm of gel water, and apart from that we have 33.5 ml of capillary water. So this is the composition. Yes, and then there's one more thing, that's 3.7 ml of empty capillary water. So what are the compounds now of the hydrated cement? So if initially only water and cement, which were in two different phases, were being added together, this is water and this is cement, they are being added together. At 50% hydration, what are we getting now? There is 20 ml of unhydrated cement, 30 ml of solid particles, that is around 50.8. 50.8 plus 12 mm is gel water, that is 62.8. 62.8 plus 3.7 is 65.8 plus that's 66.5. 66.5 plus 33.5 would be 100 ml, which was the original volume. So at 50% hydration, this is the composition of the cement in terms of the volume. Now, solid particles would mean that it has hydrated. So 30 ml has actually hydrated. So because that's denser, so that will settle down. That will be at the bottom of this. So this would be in a hydrated formation. These are 30 ml solid. Then you have around 20 ml of the unhydrated. So in between this, the unhydrated is either in between this or it's over, still not combined. So that would be around 20 ml more. This cement is yet to combine. This 20 ml is yet to combine. So the gel pores, there are gel pores formed within the hydrated solid particle, and within those gel pores, so you would have gel pores within this, and within those gel pores, I'm just expanding the picture. It's not, these pores are very small in size. in terms of nanometers. So within those gel pores, you would have gel water in between them. So that water has not combined with the cement. So apart from that, there is 33.5% of the capillary water. So that is, you have capillaries going through and through the cement, and it's filled up with water. And there are certain capillaries which are not filled up with water. That's 3.7 ml. So there will be small capillaries, and these will be without any water in between these. Now, at 100% hydration, what happens is you would have around 61.6 ml of, that is, solid particles now. So all of the unhydrated cement has actually now reacted, and it has formed the solid particles. So one component is this. The other component apart from this is 24 ml of gel water. So that remains there. 7 ml of capillary water. And then you have 7.4 ml of empty capillaries or pores. So this is at 100% hydration. When 100% hydration has been completed. So in reality, the 100% hydration in the cement it does not achieve even after years. So that's a projection here. Now, if 100% hydration was to be achieved, that would comprise of around 61.6% of the hydrated solid mass. 24 ml still is gel pore within that solid mass now. So this all is now solid mass at 100% hydration. And you have gel pores within it. And they are still filled with water. So there is still some water within the gel pores. The gel pores are located in between the gel spaces. In between the gel. The gel is in throughout covering these gel pores. So the gel would be covering. So this is gel covering the gel pores. There will be a jelly-like mixture around those gel pores. The gel pores are located in between them, and the water is trapped somewhere in between them. So then you have around 7 ml, that's 70% of the capillary water. But at 100% hydration now, here it was 33%, so it has gone down to 7%. So they actually break down into smaller capillaries inside the concrete solid, and there are 7%. So it has actually increased, the empty capillaries increase. So some of the capillary water then evaporates, and that's why the capillaries become empty at 100% of the hydration. So this is the composition of the volume composition of the unhydrated and of the hydrated cement. Now, what is the capillary pore? Capillary pore, it's not filled up by any product of hydration. That you have to keep in mind. That it's not filled up by any product of hydration. Capillaries are just like gaps in between the hydration product. So what does the capillary pores depend on? So capillary pores depend actually on, so how many capillary pores will be there? It depends on the water cement ratio. One, it depends on the water cement ratio. So if there is a good amount of sustained water to cement ratio, not too high, not too less, the capillary pores will be as per the water cement ratio. For example, if you provide a higher amount of water cement ratio where there is a large amount of water, उसमें पानी अगर बहुत ज़्यादा है around 70% और उससे ज़्यादा, then what would happen that there will be a large amount of capillaries produced within the cement because there is a lot of water. So what is the why is water required? It's required actually for hydration. But if the water amount is quite large, the water will make capillaries and the water will flow through that. So overall cement then will have large amount of capillary spaces in between, and then it will finally develop cracks through those capillary pores, and there will be a lot of permeability for ingress, ताकि पानी अंदर जाए, मॉइस्चर अंदर जाए कंक्रीट के अंदर, सीमेंट के अंदर, और उसके थ्रू करोजन भी हो सकता है, सल्फेट अटैक भी हो सकता है. देयर कैन बी मेनी थिंग्स. द क्लोराइड अटैक कैन हैपन. उस अगर सीमेंट के अंदर लोहा है इन एज इन रेनफोर्समेंट, तो वो भी करोड हो सकता है. सो capillary pores, you should avoid capillary pores. For that, you have to keep the water cement ratio below 70%, such as to keep the capillary pores within control. And the other thing it depends on is the degree of hydration. So ये इस पे डिपेंड कर रहा है कि कितना हाइड्रेशन इसमें अचीव होगी. जितनी हाइड्रेशन हो जाएगी और जितनी जल्दी हाइड्रेशन हो जाएगी, the capillary pores will be reduced. The amount of hydration, heat of hydration produced, if that's good enough, that means the capillary pores are actually then getting sealed. So वो बंद हो रहे हैं because there is a lot of hydration happening within them. So water cement ratio has its effects, and similarly the degree of hydration has an effect. So both of them have an effect actually on the maturity level of the concrete. It's also known as maturity level of concrete cement. So the maturity level of cement, ये कितना मैच्योर स्टेज पे पहुंच गया है सीमेंट, इसमें कितनी हाइड्रेशन हो चुकी है, 50% हुई है, 100%. So that both have water cement ratio and degree of hydration also have an effect on the maturity level of the cement. So water cement ratio has to be less than 0.7%. Then gel pores, which I was just discussing, they are 2 to 3 nanometer in size. So they are very small in size. If you check with respect to the cement particle, which is around 45 microns, 2 to 3 nanometer is around 10 raised power 3 times even lesser than that of the size of the cement particle. So the gel pores are so small in size. That's why the water particles get trapped, which are around 1 nanometer in size. The water particles, they get trapped within these gel pores. They are not available for hydration of any cement. This gel pore exists in between the gel. Gel is actually the cement paste, which is formed, which is a mixture of calcium silicate hydrate and it has got certain amount of calcium aluminates within that gel spaces. तो उसके अंदर gel pore जो कि मैंने यहाँ पर दिखाया, they exist in between them. So gel pores are such small in size. Now gel pores would be around, they comprise around of 28% of volume of gel. Of the total gel जो मिक्सचर है सीमेंट पेस्ट का, कैल्शियम सिलिकेट हाइड्रेट्स का, उसका 20% वॉल्यूम, जेल पोर्स है. सो दिस ग्रीन के नीचे, अगर दिस ग्रीन इज द जेल व्हिच इज द सीमेंट पेस्ट, उसका 20% जेल स्पेसेस है एंड और जेल पोर्स है, तो उसमें पानी हो सकता है. Most of the time the water is trapped there. So volume of the gel, how do you increase the volume of gel? It increases with hydration. So just like here I was discussing, there is 12 mm of gel here, at 50% hydration, at 24 ml, at 100% hydration, it's 24. So it has doubled. The gel water has doubled, and similarly, the gel has doubled, which is actually the solid part. This has gone from 20 to 63 times. So the volume of the gel increases with hydration, and so does the volume of the gel pores trapped inside the water trapped inside the gel pores. But at the same time, the capillary water is decreasing. So this was about the volume composition of cement. Any questions related to this from anyone? Yes? Nobody? I'll be continuing and then continuing with the types of cement.
तो इसकी कोई एडवांटेज डिसएडवांटेज है जेल पोज की,
Advantage.
जैसे हमने कैपिलरीज की डिसएडवांटेज पढ़ी?
Can you repeat again?
सो जैसे हमने कैपिलरीज में पढ़ा ना कि वो विद टाइम क्रैक्स में रिजल्ट करते हैं, जेल पोर्स की वजह से कुछ होता है या कोई इनकी कोई डिसएडवांटेज एडवांटेज है?
No, so the gel pores will remain there at all the time. So it has got hardly any advantage or disadvantage. They remain trapped inside the gel space.
Okay,
It's that the volume of the mixture, once 100% hydration or 99% hydration has been achieved, the gel water will be no longer available to interact with the cement, with the unhydrated cement. Gel water is never available, so this water is always trapped within the cement. So it's never available for जो unhydrated cement अभी 1% 99% hydration जो achieve हो रही है, 1% hydration products are still not combined. So, but this water is not available. So even the capillary water, which is 7 mm, it's trapped within the capillaries. So even that water is not available. That's why we in the initial first 7 days we cure the, that's known as curing of cement or concrete. What is curing or of cement or concrete? We add water to concrete or cement in the first 7 days once it has hardened. Why is it so? Why do we add water to the, because the water is already present inside, then why do we add the water from outside? The reason is the capillary water is actually evaporating. So this capillary water was 33%, it has decreased to 7%. So that is actually evaporating. Only 12% of this 33.5 minus 7 is around 26. So 26 में से 12 ही यूज हो रहा है as gel. So what about the rest 14% that is evaporated into the air? So not only that 14% has evaporated, some amount of it has been consumed in increasing the unhydrated particles into the solid particles. So there is more evaporation that has actually happened. So you require curing of cement to be done in the first 7 days for it to undergo proper hydration. Otherwise, the hydration process will not be complete if you do not cure, if you do not add water, जो हम add करते हैं. You will come to understand how do we cure from through different techniques, but the simplest technique of curing of cement is by adding water to cement once it has hardened for next 7 days at least. But you can go for curing even up to 21 days, and some even go up to 28 days. But if you then keep on adding water after that, then it will start to deteriorate due to the presence of water. So water after that period of time is not good. It's good up till this stage. Once it's in the process of gaining 100% or around 99% of hydration, for the first 21 days, around 95% of hydration. So now I'll continue with the types of the cement that I was discussing last time. Now the first type of cement is OPC, ordinary Portland cement. Now, you now know what is ordinary Portland cement. I've already discussed this. It gets its name from Portland, which is a place, and I've already discussed this. And what is the composition of ordinary Portland cement? That we have already discussed. That it is chalk, produced from chalk plus limestone or limestone, and that is combined with clay, the aluminous clay. So once that is done, and then some amount of gypsum is added after clinkering stage, so you get the final product, which is what a composition, जो कि मैंने पहले ही discuss किया, जिसमें calcium oxides है, जिसमें silica oxides present है. I've already discussed the aluminum oxides. I've already discussed and rest of the other compounds, which are actually present in the 4 bogies compounds, which I have discussed. So this is the compound, and the CSH gel is produced, which then combines, which then C3S, C2S, C3A, and C4AF, and you would have some insoluble residues apart from these within the ordinary Portland cement, and the composition and the percentage has already been discussed. The only thing important to note down about ordinary Portland cement, apart from what we have discussed, is we have around overall in the world 420 kgs of, this was in year 2007, I don't have the latest figures, 420 kgs of cement, ordinary Portland cement production is done for every person in world. So the world population was around 5.5 billion in 2007. So 5.5 into 420 kg was the production of ordinary Portland cement throughout the world. So that much amount of cement is produced, ordinary Portland cement is produced throughout the world. And this is around, if you come to know, this 420 kg into 5.5 billion or 5.8 billion, it was around in 2007. That is next to the use of water. सबसे ज्यादा दुनिया में पानी इस्तेमाल होता है और उसके बाद सीमेंट इस्तेमाल होता है. So just if there is a shortage of water, there will be a shortage of cement as well, because cement is produced from it's water. If the water mix strategy, manufacturing strategy is involved, but also the hydration involves water. So if 33% of water is required for concrete production, so that would mean around 33% of the world's water is going into the production of cement. If water and cement production is same, अगर water और cement की production same है, तो उसका ये मतलब है consumption same है, not production. तो उसका ये मतलब है 33% of the world's water is going into the concrete production. So that's a lot of water going into this. Cement production next only to water, और तीसरी चीज oil, and then followed by gas. So look at we say this, the world's economy is oil-driven economy, but is it true? No. Yes, cement production would also require energy through coal and oil, but cement consumption is next only to water. So this is the economical, cement is driving the economy, not oil. It's the cement which is actually driving the world's economy. So next comes the rapid hardening cement. Now, what is rapid hardening cement? The name itself suggests it's a rapid and hardening. Not rapid setting, it's rapid hardening. So what is rapid setting? It would be quickly setting, but this is rapid hardening. That means it will harden quickly, and that would mean the strength achieved would be quicker. It would harden quickly. The strength achieved would be quicker. So we can also name it as high early strength cement. That would be the alternative name for this, high early strength cement, meaning we are gaining early strength, the high early strength in this type of water. So how do we get the